No law enforcement official should be able to hide their identity, wear masks, hide their badges, wear plain clothes, or anything of the sort. They should be visibly identifiable. You should be able to see their face. You should be able to see their eyes. You should be able to read their badge visibly without even having to ask the officer what their badge number is. There is no reason for officers to hide their identities unless they know they're doing something criminal, which is what ICE has been doing. They've been going around acting like gang members, committing crimes against people, and people have had enough of it.
Tonight, there's a new push in California to stop law enforcement officers from masking their identities during public encounters. CBS's Elise Preston is in Los Angeles, where immigration enforcement arrests have proved controversial.
Jerika, immigration raids have sparked fear and outrage because many of the agents are masked, including at a recent sweep at this Home Depot where people were detained while looking for work. Now there's a push by California lawmakers which would require officers to show their faces.
If officers are not required to show their faces, show their badge numbers and stuff like that, then anybody can dress up and look like an ICE agent, hide their face, show no badge or anything like that, and just attack people. And how does that make the United States safer? It doesn't.
ICE crackdowns by masked armed agents.
Better get out of here.
Said workplaces, grocery.
Wow, they pointed a gun at a person, what, for filming them? How does ICE agents pointing their guns at people for being filmed make the United States safer?
Stores, even houses of worship, are creating fear and confusion.
Why you covering your face, bro?
Over who is putting people in handcuffs.
This is an absolute terror campaign by the Trump administration and by ICE toward basically the Latino community.
California State Senator Scott Wiener has co-authored the No Secret Police Act, which would prevent federal agents who all work under the U.S. Department of Homeland Security from covering their faces.
Anybody could dress up like that and pretend to be ICE agent. I mean, when your face is covered and you're not showing any badge, you're not having to show proof that you're actually a federal agent, then anybody can do that and get away with committing crimes against people.
Secret police are when you have people, they're wearing a mask, they're not identifying themselves, and they're literally just grabbing people and taking them away.
DHS said on.
How is this any different than what Nazis did with the Gestapo, where they had people rounded up and sent away to secret places? Because it's just the same. The United States has truly shown its face to be nothing but Nazis.
On social media, masks are needed to protect agents who are facing a 400% increase in assaults, like this immigrant.
Okay, so what? That's no justification for ICE agents wearing masks. They're public officials. Okay, while ICE officers are being assaulted by rioters, a sanctuary politician is trying to outlaw officers wearing masks to protect themselves from being doxxed and targeted by known and suspected terrorist sympathizers. Wow, that is insane to claim that anybody against their families and friends being kidnapped by unidentifiable people are terrorist sympathizers. That would be like saying that anybody fighting against human trafficking are just terrorist sympathizers.
Who are facing a 400% increase in assault.
Oh, but we've also seen thugs launch websites to reveal ICE officers' identity. Well, being that you're a federal agent working for the government, you're a public official, and you should be required to show your face and have information about you accessible to the public.
like this immigration officer who was dragged by a car last week in Minnesota.
DHS called your bill and the idea of secret police despicable. What's your reaction to that?
The Department of Homeland Security, its job is to keep the homeland safe, not to target people in this country and to create an atmosphere of fear. That's despicable.
Well, the Department of Homeland Security wasn't truly about keeping Americans safe. It was always about oppressing Americans as much as possible.
The bill has some exemptions, like for SWAT teams and Jerica, the use of medical grade masks.
SWAT teams should also not be allowed to cover their faces or their badges or anything of the sort. As long as you're a public official working for the government, you should be required to be identifiable. And it is definitely different if a situation requires a medical grade mask. That is totally different. What